This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Meantime, the White House also talking about these attacks by illegal immigrants on American citizens. And of course, everyone talking about the case of that Loyola University student, Sheridan Gorman, who was killed by the guy who never should have been in this country to begin with, the Venezuelan who had a criminal record and never should have been out on the streets. So here is Caroline Levitt talking about the lack of media attention. Not only do they feel they are dealing with many Democrats on the street, she also says the media is to blame for not even getting out the story, and she calls that a disgrace. Listen to Caroline Levitt.
Just last week, Sheridan Gorman, a young woman in Chicago, was shot and killed on the street walking with her friends outside of her university by a illegal alien from Venezuela who had no right to be here in the first place. And it's despicable that Democrats are currently defunding the department that's responsible for removing illegal aliens like that. And I would also add it's despicable that the lack of coverage of this young woman's case, of her life, and the way that it was tragically cut short. I saw a survey over the weekend that I'd like to bring to all of your attention. This is the media coverage of the case of Sheridan Gorman. You have ABC News has spent 1 minute and 19 seconds between 2 days when this case was first alerted. You have CBS 2 minutes and 1 second. You have NBC 23 seconds spent on the life of a young, beautiful American woman whose life was taken short by an illegal alien who should have never been here in the first place, when we are in the middle of a battle on Capitol Hill with a major political party, the Democrat Party, who wants to defund the agency that is responsible for protecting Americans. I think her life was worth more than 23 seconds on cable television, and I think the people in this room have a responsibility to report on cases like this, because it just exemplifies why the president believes so strongly in deporting illegal aliens from our communities.
And yet there are so many Democrats that are continuing with this message of defund ICE. I mean, which is why we're still in a government shutdown. Thank goodness President Trump has paid the TSA workers. Trump to the rescue. Thank God he did that, because that's terrible to do to the TSA workers. Already there are reports at the airports that the lines are moving a lot more smoothly because now agents are coming to work. And also ICE is there helping out too as well. So that's a great thing. But the question is the fact that members of Congress left, especially the Senate, saying, nope, we're not going to vote on that. I think they met for 30 seconds today, and then they broke, and now they're on a break for at least the end of the week. They could get called back, but they could be gone for 2 weeks. So what, the shutdown's going to go for 2 weeks? And, quote, non-frontline workers. We're not talking about those who are arresting, illegal immigrants on the streets, but those who help them, those who are assisting those individuals, whether it's in ICE or Customs and Border Protection. Well, both of them, those groups, there's a lot of them in there. There's 1,000, and they're not getting paid. I mean, this is ridiculous. I cannot believe that Democrats are doing this, and there should be more outcry saying, how could Democrats get away with doing this, holding people hostage, the American public hostage, and these great people who are working hard. Well, here is Zoran Mondani, because he says ICE should be gone. The New York mayor, he repeated that they're a rogue group. Here it is.
I think first and foremost, we're making clear that no one is above the law in this city, that everyone has to follow the rule of law. And I have made clear to the president, both in our private conversations and our public conversations, about the fact that I believe that ICE is a rogue agency. It's a reckless one. It's one that delivers nothing towards the furthering of the cause of public safety. And I've also been public about my belief that ICE is an entity that should be abolished. And that is critically important in our city, where we've seen too many New Yorkers living in fear of even going to what would otherwise be routine immigration check-ins.
And let's not forget the case of an immigrant who opened fire recently, Hezbollah inspired. There is no doubt about it. This is the guy who opened fire on that Michigan synagogue. Well, today we heard from the FBI, and it was really chilling to hear the details surrounding this case. And this guy had a brother who was a Hezbollah commander. So I'm sorry, I don't feel sorry that your brother was taken out. And some of the things that he was saying to his sister, this is just 10 minutes before he opened fire on that synagogue, which was packed with Jewish students. Thank goodness they were all unharmed. But here's one of the things he said. I couldn't believe this. It says, "This is the largest gathering for Israelis in the state of Michigan in the United States. I have a booby-trapped car. I will forcefully enter and start shooting at them. God willing, I will kill as many of them as I possibly can." What a nice guy. Saying it to his sister right beforehand. What a beautiful family. Can you imagine? And then in a second video that he immediately sent, follow this video. This was just a few seconds long and had the message, "A special operation." So he's bragging to his family that he's about to open fire on a Jewish synagogue filled with Jewish kids. This monster, how many more people are like this among us? Here's the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan talking about the case just a few hours ago.
And it makes no legal difference if the current leader of Hezbollah himself, Naim Qassem, called this man and told him to attack Temple Israel, or whether he simply heeded Hezbollah's call to kill Jews and, in his words, burn their world. So do not be misled. This terrorist acted on behalf of Hezbollah, and he intended to kill others, not just himself. He could have done that in a garage or in his basement. He did not need to plan for days, arm himself, and try to take dozens of Jewish American children with him. His death was just a means or a tool to kill as many Jews as he could. That's why his last statements were that he was on a special operation to kill as many of them as he possibly can. And it's because of the evidence presented today that there is no question that we would prove that this man provided material support to the terrorist organization Hezbollah.